So we are doing. So the magazine. We gave our little overview of the new. I just saw your Magnolia ticket stub. Is that what it is?
That's a sticker.
Oh, a sticker. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
People brought it back for me.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, they know that I like it. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Oh, yeah.
So same. I'll get there eventually, but
yeah,
I haven't been there yet. So we always bring back little souvenirs. So they have to have like stickers and magnets.
Love it. The nonprofit that I work for, I don't know the full story, but we're like this close to like Joanna. Like getting her involvement with our nonprofit.
Oh, like, that'd be rad.
So
she's so sweet. I hear her. Really real and down to earth, which is why I like her.
Yeah, I've heard the same. So, we have this new format for the magazine.
Right.
And the issue for the spring edition is the theme for the issue is I always get the words mixed up. Nurturing a culture of creativity. So the idea is that it was originally created by the creator, but then I changed it a little bit. So the idea, though, is that it's supporting the fact that we are created by God and we are created in His image, and He Himself is a creator. So what does it mean for us to all be creators of something? And not just creative in a arts and entertainment kind of creativity, but more in the way that our brains work and the way that we perhaps approach how we care for our students with creativity, or how we find creative solutions to problems we have, or how we're creative in our learning or teaching environments and things like that. So it's really a way just to highlight what we're doing with a kind of a unique angle. And so we're going to be doing a feature that I think the title is probably, or the headline would be Creativity in Care. And it would kind of feature three big sections. One would be you, and how we serve or support students with disabilities. Okay. And then how we care for diverse millennials, which Dr. Manjarrez wrote a piece in a book. He was a contributor to a book about supporting diverse millennials. And then he did a workshop recently with Liz Powell. And then the third one is like how we care for, how spiritually we care for the diversity of our students. So one of the things that Dr. Manjarrez also talks about is like the importance of diversity in like chapel programming, and being sure to, if there's a lot of, obviously Hispanic heritage is deep here, so how are we incorporating that in what typically most of our students have maybe grown up in a certain culture environment? So how are we nurturing that, and how are we serving them there? Okay. So that's kind of the nutshell of the story. And how it all shapes, I don't know yet. I typically wait until after my interviews to build the arc of the story, but that's kind of the idea. So it's the idea of how we're nurturing our students and caring for their needs. Okay. So I'd love to hear from you what you do, because I don't know it a ton. I don't think, and most people that I've talked to on campus are even surprised to find out that we have an Office of Disability Services, or maybe wouldn't even know what that means, or might immediately think of student in a wheelchair, and that probably is not always the case. So if you could just share that with me.
So my role is really to support and coach and engage our students with disabilities here at Vanguard in their classrooms, in their residence halls, in their extracurricular activities that they choose to do, and what that kind of looks like is different for each category. So how I support them and care for them with their classes is that students who qualify receive accommodations. And so what that looks like is, some students will need additional time on testing. They'll need a place to test that is more distraction free. Some students will need a note taker in class. Some students will need an academic success coach. And so it kind of is different for each type of disability because there is a spectrum of disability. And it really ranges from minor, what we say mild to moderate to severe. And so each disability has, we look at it very individualistic here at Vanguard. And I think that's very unique to us because we're able to understand that we have overarching accommodations, but that it's tailored to each student and their learning experience here. So everyone's accommodations will look different. How we support them in, in the community on campus through extracurricular activities is I try to ensure that the events that are held on campus are inclusive and that as many students as possible can attend or feel comfortable enough to attend, if that makes sense. And so my goal is to constantly be looking at what we're doing on campus and how we're being as inclusive as possible and allowing students to fully have the same experience as a student who would maybe not have a disability. We have a campus club that also supports the university, the student population. It's called ABLE, and ABLE stands for awareness, boldness, leadership, and empowerment. And that club was birthed about 3 years ago. This is its 4th year here. I created it 4 years ago as a way for not just students with disabilities to connect with each other, but for people who have family members and parents and roommates and friends and coworkers to come and learn what it's like to have a disability, how to support and care for people with disabilities, and to become an ally. And so our events really focus on bringing that awareness and empowering others to share their experiences, as well as creating leaders to go out in the community and be allies. So that's really my goal with that club. And we have an intern. She's got a small team, and we kind of put on these really cool events. One event we put on was an expressive paint night, and we had an art therapist come in and do an activity with students. And we had students, so I've never seen before, come and engage in this art activity. And it was a really therapeutic, inclusive way to care for our students. And it cost them nothing. And we had about 50 people there, and they loved it. And so, I've got other people on campus saying, how can I incorporate that in what I'm doing? And so that was really cool to get emails like that right afterwards. So I try to do that once a year. We also have Mental Health Awareness Week, where we create spaces for people on campus to share what it's like to be a college student dealing with mental health issues. So we have a dinner and dialogue. We had an experiential learning event where people were able to come and see these large boards that had statistics of mental health in college on it, and also had the opportunity to write a word of encouragement for someone who may be struggling or going through a dark time in their life. And we had over 100 pieces of positive, responses and notes and words of encouragement that were pinned onto this it was I don't know what it's like a board,
Yeah.
stand-up board, and it was really cool. And I felt very encouraged just reading them and being able to pray over them and speak that positivity and truth for our students. So it's very sweet. Those are very tender moments that I get to experience with the club, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm thankful that Vanguard's given me and the students this space to really bring education and awareness to this topic and to this people group. So I'm thankful for that. I also do a lot of educating of the community. So I do a lot of seminars and trainings for faculty, for staff, for student leaders on how to support in the classroom students with disabilities, how to care for them in their residence halls, and how to engage them in the environment and the community around them. So it's usually towards the beginning of the school year where I do a lot of my talks, but it's been helpful to educate the community. When I first got here 5 years ago, Vanguard was just beginning to have these conversations of disability and what that looks like as a part of diversity. And I feel very grateful for the opportunity to be able to come here and expand the conversation, and to be a voice for these students, and to invite more students to the table to have a voice. And they have been very grateful for that. And so it's been a really cool journey to see how Vanguard has just expanded the conversation, and how disability is really more than just my office, but a conversation that